Alright. Welcome everyone to another Saturday stream. I'm joined with Lauren. Say hi.
Hello.
For those that are new, I do Pokemon gameplay stuff and JRPG stuff. I do a lot of just chill games, so if you're new, think about sticking around. And if you're from my channel, Lauren's channel is actually in the description of this video. Go give her a sub. Go watch her stuff. She makes a lot of short videos, so you can really binge through them very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So, that being said, we're going to go ahead and head out. So, what did you think of this game, Lauren?
I really liked it. If I were to I once made a post with me ranking the main series games, in a tier list. I would put this in A. I really liked it. It was different, but in a good way. It was really fun. I liked how you could catch the way you catch Pokemon. It's much better than always just battling them. And I liked that you reward for it. You get paid to catch the Pokemon. You can get more likely to get shinies when you fill out their Pokedex entries and do the research tasks. I really just had a lot of fun. And my only complaints, aside from the graphics, is I noticed there was a lot of parts in the story where they could have made an animation, but instead that it just goes to black. The screen just goes to black, then It comes back. He's like, "Hey, this happened."
Yeah, that is absolutely the case. Yeah, I'm in the same kind of vein. I love this game. It definitely recently is my favorite Pokemon game. The catching mechanic is just so much better than the previous games in general. So and going back to it, specifically shiny hunting in this game, even though it is kind of nerfed in a way now since the Daybreak update, you still get a lot. I've almost got, I've got over 100 hours in this game easily. There's a no combi.
I've got nearly 70 hours. I mean, not shinies, hours.
Yeah. And you know what? I haven't gotten bored, and it helps also that the shiny hunting in this game is super rewarding. You get a shiny, pretty frequently. When I was starting the Daybreak DLC specifically, I got 2 shinies back to back.
Wow.
One of them was another male combi, so I'm forever plagued with that, I guess.
I once saw a video it was by a YouTuber, a Poketuber called the Aura Guardian. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I have.
Yeah, he made a list with a shiny hunter. His channel is Supreme Arcanines, and they did a top 10 hardest shinies to shiny hunt. Number 2 was Vespiquen in the Generation 4 games because the honey tree and trying to find a female combi. And
it's a pain.
So,
I said,
and the honey trees themselves are such a pain. So when you combine the fact that you got to get the female, combined with trying to make sure the honey tree has that combi, it's like, why?
Yeah, it's an extra layer of difficulty. And I don't know, have you done the post game yet in this game?
Yes.
What'd you think of it? I really like the twist.
I like the Bolo fight a lot. It was crazy. It took me 5 tries to beat it.
It was a hard fight. I would have to. Oh, hey, I got a shiny Yanma. I need to remember that. So.
Can you screen share for me? Because when I go to YouTube to watch this, it's like I can hear you talking there, and I hear you talking here, and it's like an echo.
Sure can. Give me 1 second here. Will it let me do this? I actually don't know if it will let me screen share.
Oh, great.
In the YouTube video, you should be able to just mute my audio, though.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Duh.
That would work.
Where is the mute?
And
I'm on mobile, by the way.
You know what? That's a good question.
Oh, no.
That's a very good question. Someone that's smarter than I am, let me know where the mute button is on mobile. Because I really don't know. If not, I could. I wonder if that's probably going to break things. Echo me, yeah. That was the very first, the Raidcast stream was just me echoing.
Where is it? Gotta be here somewhere.
I wonder if you have to just turn the volume down completely on your phone.
Talk.
I'm talking.
Great, I can't. Oh wait, I can still hear you. Okay,
Okay.
cool.
You can hear me?
I
I'm
was
alive
worried it was
still?
turning you down too. Yeah, I can still hear you.
So we're good now?
Even though I don't hear the video anymore. Okay, we're good.
It's fine. The audio for the video is not super, super important. I'm sure you've heard of it. Anyways, got a shiny Yanma. Yanma's got a super cool shiny. I'll definitely have to come back here and get that.
Oh yeah, it's that blue shiny.
Yes.
I do like the blue.
I also really like the blue.
There's some cool blue shinies. Although I don't care much for Emboar, I love its shiny.
Yeah, I would agree. Gen 5, got kind of shafted when it comes to the starters.
Starters, yeah.
I don't think anyone really likes the starters at like all.
I like the Ocelot line, the Snide line. It's the Tepig line, I'm just kind of indifferent, you know?
Yeah, it definitely is. Ooh, Spiritomb. That's a rare spawn here.
Oh yeah, I still haven't completed the Pokedex. I don't know if I will, because sometimes I just can't get motivated to do it.
So the hardest part of doing it, so I'm referring to it as the semi-perfect Pokedex. So everything is like rank 10.
Yeah.
The hardest part is the ones that are related to stuff like the space-time distortions, especially like nowadays. It's not as bad because the game's been out now for what, like a month. So people have kind of figured out like how things are working. But when I was first trying to do it, because at first I thought you needed to actually do that to unlock the Arceus fight. And you don't. You just have to catch everything, luckily enough.
Right.
But I was like, well, I'm already right here. I only needed like one or two more things, so of course I'm going to do it. So I ended up doing that, and the space-time distortions definitely took a while, just because I didn't know how they worked spawn-wise. Now it's every 5 minutes they will show up. So.
Also, I already see one of my subscribers, EGR. Hello, EGR.
Yes.
He's the one with the hair crossed.
Yeah.
I've seen him a lot in my comment sections and my Discord server.
Yeah, I was lurking in your server earlier and noticed that they were posting.
Yeah.
So I need to go back.
If you can't tell by the profile picture, he loves Heracross. That's his favorite
Heracross
Pokemon.
is a good one.
Oh yeah, I like Heracross. It's my favorite bug type.
I would probably have to agree. I'd have to think about it. Well, I also like Galvantula, but I still think it would
gosh. Galvantula scares me. See, I'm arachnophobic, and I don't mind Spinarak because it's kind of cute. I don't mind Gyarados because I like the coloring and stuff, but Galvantula's creepy to me.
Yeah, Galvantula's a good one for me. I'm trying to think of another, like...
I really like Leavanny.
Leavanny's also really good. So my favorite typing is actually grass. My favorite Pokemon is Bulbasaur. Which, I mean, it's just because when I first started playing, that was my very first Pokemon, was Bulbasaur.
Right. My first Pokemon was either Torchic or Mudkip, and I can never remember which one it was. I know it was one of those two.
That does tend to happen at times.
I was only like 7 at the time, and I'm almost 26 now, so. But I know it was one
your
of
internet stays fine. But yeah, any shinies? No shiny unknown. Okay. I think that's all of it.
I've seen a lot of people make memes out of the unknown. Like just putting them all together, like taking them all out of their Pokeballs and they'll say something.
Yeah, it's actually kind of clever in doing that. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and just reset my game so I got an infinite amount of time here. I'm going to go catch that Yanma.
The other day, I saw a community post. Someone, now this wasn't in Legends Arceus. They just straight out, like, somehow put a bunch of unknown together, like, and I was like, oh, what's this say? Weirdo strangers to love. And you know what the rest was. I was like, dang.
You got debated on it. Yeah, that tends to happen a fair bit. So, just kind of shifting gears. Have you done any of like the Daybreak DLC?
Not yet. I haven't. It just didn't look like there was enough change for me to really want to go back. But I'd love to be proven wrong. It's just what they showed in the presents. It didn't look like there was a lot. What all is in it?
So there's a little bit more than what I initially thought. So obviously, what I'm doing now is called massive mass outbreaks, which is
Right, I know about that.
Which is the newest, like, essentially shiny hunting method. And essentially you do have to go to like every area and explore them. So if you do what I do, which is what I'm doing right now, is go to every area to check for a shiny and reset. It took me a couple days to actually finish that portion of it. Now there are a few more missions here. As you can see, there is now 117 side quests.
Good grief.
So there's a lot. They've also added this Path of Solitude, which I haven't actually tried. I'll probably make.
What's that?
I haven't actually done it. I think. Oh, it actually says it. Just defeat Ingo with the Pokemon that's listed here. But some of these are going to be kind of a pain, like this one, defeat Ingo with Magikarp. That
Oh god.
That's going to be.
The screen is getting blurry. Or not blurry. Sometimes that happens. I'll be watching a live stream on YouTube and suddenly it gets. It's not blurry. It's like. Well, I guess it's kind of blurry. I can still tell what's happening. I just can't read anything.
Yeah, it's probably YouTube doing the thing where it will like auto quality. For whatever reason, it will like to do that.
Yeah.
But another thing that was added is there's a few more battles.
Yeah.
For it, so there's another Adamant battle where you have to beat him with. The respective legendary, so Dialga with Adamant, Irida you would use.
Palkia.
Yep. And their origin form. That's all you can use. I haven't done them yet. I'm gonna assume I'm gonna need to like kind of grind for a little bit. The YouTube just to what Nob was saying. The YouTube like auto app like thing is absolutely god awful.
Oh gosh.
It is piss poor with how well it works. And how well it works is it doesn't work. It actually annoys me that they went to that system.
Yeah. There was a lot of characters in this game I liked. Pretty much I liked everyone except for Melon.
I think that's universal. You're not alone in that. I've beaten the game at this point.
Yeah.
But I'm still doing like a stream playthrough of it as well.
Yeah.
And everyone universally on the stream is like, "Oh God, get this person out of here." And I mean, for good reason.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I forgot to check.
He's so unlikable. It had to have been their intention to make him unlikable. Because you can't make a character like that and be like, "Oh, I want everyone to love this guy."
You would think, because he definitely is not a very likable character, like at all. He is definitely the worst part of this game, 100%. And I don't know really why they went that direction, because like sometimes they'll make someone be like a jerk and then they like kind of
but in a lovable, fun way.
Yeah, not him.
Not him. No.
No.
He's just
straight up an ass. So
yes.
He definitely not my favorite character. Did you end up at the end? You get to pick Irida or Adamant. So
I went with Adamant.
You did. I feel like most people went with Adamant. I'm one of the few people. I'm gonna get like super popped here in a minute. One of the few people who went with Irida. Yes.
I like them both, but I slightly prefer Adamant. It may also be due to I'm attracted to men and not women, but I could be wrong.
I mean, that could be a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it absolutely could be a thing.
I do like Irida though. She's very. I also like her design. It's very cute.
It is. At first, I wasn't sold on her design like 100%. But throughout the story, I definitely ended up liking it a lot more.
Her hair and stuff reminds me of Serena.
Yeah, I could kind of see it.
Yeah.
I absolutely kind of see it.
What are some regions you'd like to see done in the Legend style? For me, it's Hoenn because I love Hoenn.
Hoenn would be a good one.
Yes.
Hoenn and Unova, I think, would work very well.
Oh, that'd be cool. I do love Unova too.
The main reason for Unova is just because of they've got the dragon.
Original dragon. Yeah.
And I think that would be really
When-
cool to explore upon, just like how they did
Yeah.
Dialga Palkia
Yeah.
this game. And I think it would work. Hoenn would be good because of the, obviously the...
Weather Trio.
Yep.
I'd like it if the mythical, if they did focus on mythicals, but they never really expanded much on, like Jirachi. We hardly know anything about Jirachi.
Yep.
It's just given to you.
And I hope they do continue with what they did kind of in this game with Manaphy, specifically. Manaphy, Darkrai, and Shaman, actually.
Yeah.
All of them had, kind of a unique little story
Yeah.
bit to them. So, the Manaphy was actually kind of difficult.
Yes.
Like,
I haven't done that yet, actually, but I know that apparently the solution was in BDSP.
the solution is in BDSP.
Yes.
And on the stream, while I did find it funny, in a way, in this age of if you don't have internet, then I really don't know what to tell you. But if for whatever reason you didn't have internet, you would have the issue of not being able to do that puzzle, to my knowledge. Because I don't know how you would guess it. I tried to look in the game and I didn't see.
No, there's no clues in Legends
No.
Arceus. It's all in BDSP.
So, yeah.
At least with the Braille puzzle with the Reggies, they gave you like a part, like in those rocks, they gave you the Braille alphabet. Like, yeah, it's still ridiculous, but there was something in the game that gave you hints.
Yeah, and they do not do that here.
No. I mean, I like when they do the cryptic things. I just don't like it when it's too cryptic. Like, make it mysterious. Make it unique to find a legendary. But not to the point where we gotta look it up.
Yeah. So they definitely could improve on it. I do hope they stick with at least doing something.
Yeah.
As opposed to,
Let's go to GameStop.
yes, dear God, get away from the GameStop thing.
Yes.
Please. I don't want to go to GameStop. I promise you, I do not want to go to GameStop for Pokemon stuff.
Yeah.
I do not care for it like at all to do that.
Yeah. It's
It
like,
would be. I'm glad they tried that for sure. For this,
but even if I did have to go to GameStop, if I could actually get an event downloaded, like, an actual story along with the mythical, that'd be kind of cool.
that would be, and hopefully they'll kind of do that more moving forward.
Yeah.
Um,
I would prefer that we didn't have to get them event exclusive, but I guess you can have an event as long as you can still get the Pokemon through regular gameplay. Like, I was so happy when they made Deoxys available in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Like, I've never had one before because I never got the event, but now I can have one. This is great. That's basically my reaction.
Yeah, and it was nice, and they did what you were kind of saying earlier. Earlier is it was part of the actual story.
Right.
In the game, it wasn't just, hey, here's a Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
You go to GameStop.
And then the Pokemon Center will be like, oh, hey, your Pokemon is delivered. Here, take it.
Yeah. I like I said, I think they did a lot of good stuff with this game. There's definitely some improvements, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it is a nice, start to the series.
Right.
For sure.
Right, a start to, new types of gameplay and stuff.
Yeah.
Like a new formula, almost, I think.
Yeah. And, I guess we can go and kind of talk about it, but with Scarlet and Violet, they're keeping some of them, which is nice. These Alpha Spring staying small, all. They
are after you.
They are after me, and they are not wanting any of it. I don't think I've gotten but one.
Oh gosh.
They are kind of
anyway, Scarlet and Violet.
They've they're keeping the overworld mechanic from this.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yes.
It's still kind of yet to be seen if they will, keep this style of catching. I really hope that they do.
Me too.
Because it's so much more fluid. I definitely had my doubts when this game first came out, which I think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
But it's just so good.
It is.
And you know, it's nice to see some of the older characters just kind of come back.
I liked Ingo in this game. Like, I didn't really do much in the battle subway when I originally played Gen 5, but see, Ingo became a lot more likable and when they used him in this game because he wasn't optional. He was part of the story.
I would agree, 100%. I actually didn't care much for Ingo because he didn't really, provide anything to Black and White.
Right.
He was just there, and that's what his role was.
Yeah.
But in this, he's actually probably one of my favorite characters.
Same. Although you gotta feel bad for his brother Emmett. I mean, his brother just
poor
disappeared
Emmett.
Nowhere and. Huh?
I said poor Emmett. Him being just essentially not a thing in this. It does kind of make you wonder what happened. What's
it does. There's a lot of unanswered questions. Like, why did Arceus send you here? The thing with Ingo, like, what's going on with him? Like, will he ever return? Will we ever return? Just there was other things that didn't get explained. I just can't name them.
Yeah. And hopefully they do touch upon that. There is rumored to be at least one more DLC for the game.
Yeah.
We'll see, what it is. I don't expect a whole lot, because to me, I don't think that Game Freak wanted this game to clearly be, a massive, like, a game like, like how Omega Ruby was, where you could play that game for, like, hours and days, and it had a very long lifespan. This game is clearly not that, and they didn't want it to be, which is fine, because the game that they did give was a really good one. 3 Gligar spots and a massive mass outbreak. Shiny grip. That was just what happened with my Yanma a minute ago.
Oh.
So, don't run.
Speaking of Hoenn, I miss the secret bases.
Yeah, I mean, BDSP had secret bases, if you want to consider that.
But they were all statues. You couldn't really decorate.
You couldn't do anything, yeah.
Like, come on. I do prefer Emerald over Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire by a bit, but I still really liked Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. And there were some new features that I think they did do better than Emerald.
Yeah, I really like the flying feature.
The soaring.
That was probably one of my favorite features that they have done, other than the normal, like, everybody wants Mega Evolution, because I do like Mega Evolution, but when I enjoyed the way that the legendaries catch and everything else like that. To me,
not so fun fact. If you look at the Pokedex entries for the Mega Evolution, you may feel guilty for Mega evolving your Pokemon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I kind of like that. And it's similar to this game too, where they had talked about, like, they talk about how, hey, you can do this thing here and you might die, so be careful. They definitely wanted to see, they wanted to touch up on the more adult themes on this.
Yes.
And
darker.
Yeah, there you go. That's a better term. So
I hear adult themes. I don't think of dark. Well, let's not go there. Actually.
Yeah, that's probably a good call. That's probably a really, really good call.
I thought Laura was wholesome.
Everybody's wholesome until they start thinking of adult themes. But yeah, the darker themes, I kind of like how they touched up on. And you see that a lot in, like, fan games and stuff like that, which.
Yeah.
I do enjoy fan games. It's one of the main things I do on my channel is fan games or ROM hacks and all other good stuff.
I don't think I have the things I need. I only have actual consoles. I don't have emulators or anything like that. So I don't have a PC, so I wouldn't be able to play a ROM hack. I would, if I could though, I would want to play Seat version. Have you heard of that one?
I have heard of that one.
I would want to play that because I love the designs. It's cool that they had a whole new type system. I would have to memorize it, of course, but still.
Yeah, there's a game. It's called Pokemon Whack.
Pokemon what?
Whack. I did a stream on it. And the stream itself was a very, very fun stream. it had to talk about it. It's got God, I can't remember. Not or per. Do you remember how many types were in that game? It's some astronomical amount, like 400 and something types.
Types?
Yes, types.
Bruh.
And the types were like, you had your fire type, you had your charcoal type, you had your mud type, you had your ground types, you had your air types, your wind types. I will say though that the game is definitely, if you did end up doing it or playing it, it definitely is one of those games that can be offensive, especially later on. I only did one stream.
You mean offensive?
Like just some of the humor is like,
Oh,
it,
okay.
you definitely have to have one of those audiences that's like not going to be super offended by things. You know, that's the thing to kind of keep in mind. But you know, if not, I mean, you can probably just play it and have fun.
Yeah. The only quote-unquote offensive humor that annoys me is political humor, specifically when they're taking sides. You know.
Yeah,
that gets on my nerve because it's like, yeah, you're appealing to this group, but you're not appealing to this group.
Yeah, and I don't think it's as much of that as just like, if there is, it's more like really dirty humor type thing. All right.
That kind of offensive. Nah, I'm good with that. I just don't like dirty humor when it feels nasty.
Yeah,
like
well, it very well might be. So,
oh no.
Like I said, I only did one stream of it. I've done a few games like that. Like Clover was a big one. I don't know if you've heard of Clover.
I think I've heard of it.
It was a very massive game at a time.
Yeah. Oh, I remember, while we're on the subject of the nasty human stuff, I remember there was once a ROM hack called Pokemon, I kid you not, it was Pokemon Aspersion.
Oh, that still exists. I'm gonna get wrecked by these unknowns here now. Funny enough.
Only in this game can you get wrecked by unknowns.
Yeah, especially when they're, most of the time not moving.
Yeah.
Did you get all the unknowns in the game?
No, not yet. I don't know if I'm going back to Legend of Arceus. You see, normally once I complete a Pokemon game, it's like, I had fun, but I'm probably not going to return to this for a little while longer. Or I may replay it. I normally end up just restarting because I don't do competitive, so I'm not worried about losing Pokemon that I was going to play in, like, VGC or whatever, so...
Yeah, and that's completely fine. I used to do competitive like a long, long time ago, but it's just two unknowns, so I don't care about that. But I much prefer, especially nowadays, to
Casual playthrough?
Casual playthroughs, 100%. Like, I'll do Nuzlocke occasionally. Normally I do Nuzlocke on stream, and that's about as intense as I will go with them.
I like a medium difficulty in pretty much any video game. Like, I avoid rage games. I don't want it to be so easy a little baby can do it, but I like a medium amount. Like, let me feel like I'm rewarded. Like, I feel good for beating a boss, gym leader, whatever. But don't make it feel like it's a relief.
Yeah.
You know, there's never been feeling like, oh, I completed a challenge and, oh, thank goodness it's over.
Yep. There was a game. I've got a full gameplay through it. I don't know if you ever heard it. It's called Pokemon Reborn.
I think I've heard of it, but I can't swear to it.
When I was recording, I recorded with one of my friends, and that game, it was fun, and it's definitely grown on me.
Yeah.
From it. Oh, what am I doing? I don't want to talk to you, Professor. But there was times when to get like one episode up, and the episodes are like normally 20 to 30 minutes, we would have to spend like 30 to 40 minutes just strategizing.
Ooh.
It got pretty brutal, pretty quickly. But after I beat it, because it's not like completely out yet.
Yeah.
After I beat it, it was a nice sense of accomplishment. For sure. And I've done a few like harder like ROM hacks. Like Clover's actually a very hard game. Unbound's another one. Which if there is a fan-made game that I would recommend, you would probably like Unbound. It's got a nice kind of balance between not too bad, but not like, easy.
Right.
It's really really fun.
The only time I really go easy mode in a game is if it's the first time I've ever played one in a series, and it can someone be challenging. It's like, let me learn this. Then next time I'll play on medium difficulty.
Yeah, there was a point specifically, just because Not brought it up, in Pokemon Unbound where you have to fight Arceus.
Yeah.
And it's, God, I can't remember what level it is. It's probably level, I can't remember if it's level 80 or 100 or 50 or something like that. It's a really high level, Arceus.
Right.
And your Pokemon at this point in time are not ready for it. And you get two options through the game because there is multiple choice points. You can either, agree to this bad guy's terms, then you don't have to fight it and you can bypass it. But me and the guy we were recording with are like, well, we should beat it, because that would be really cool to, do, and that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
So we ended up the problem is you couldn't go back to heal at any point in time because you're stuck kind of like in a hole. So there was no healing. So and there was a patch of grass that you could kind of grind your levels. The problem is because you couldn't heal, you couldn't get your PP back. But there was a cave nearby, and this game had different types of environments. So your environments would directly affect your moves. Now you have your mist fields and electric terrains and stuff like that. Well, one of the features of it was a cave field, and you would cause the cave to collapse if you used a certain move. And when the cave collapsed, it would faint both Pokemon on the field.
Ooh.
The problem is you had to make sure you had to do a move like Earthquake or Bulldoze 3 times before it would do it. So we had the idea of finding Geodudes, because once you catch Pokemon, it gives you the option, similar to how it does now. It's like, hey, do you want to add this to your party? We caught 3 Geodudes with Sturdy. We were also couldn't buy anything, so we were limited on balls, and we couldn't weaken anything because we didn't have any potions or anything like that to use. And that's ended up how we beat it. We had 3 Geodudes. I think they were level 20. And we just bulldozed and killed Arceus.
Oh my gosh.
To beat it. It's probably one of the best moments on my channel. It was. We ended up calling it. The name of the episode is called Operation Rock and Roll because Geodudes rock and roll.
Yes.
And since then, every Geodude I've caught, which I've got one in this game, I haven't nicknamed it yet. I've called him Savior because that was the savior of the playthrough because we were locked out at that point. Great stuff.
Speaking of Geodude, did you ever see a series called Starter Squad?
I have
on
not.
YouTube?
I have not.
Oh, it's so good. I felt like I was watching a TV show or anime or something. So it started off as just a fun. Well, in the beginning it was just real fun comedy with a little bit of dark humor here and there. But it slowly became an actual story with character development and really interesting stuff while still maintaining some of the comedy. And I think there's going to be a total of 12, so far there only been 10, but they're still working on more. It's not a TV show, it's just a series made by a YouTuber, but I think it was the 9th one, that there was a Geodude in it, and I kid you not, it had a whole rock song. No, because...
It reminds me of the, Rock Lobster from Family Guy.
Oh, gosh.
That makes me think of. So, yeah, I mean, some of those, YouTube series like that, they really take off.
Yeah, it starts off in Kanto. I mean, the 10th episode, and yes, it took this long. They do find themselves in, I think they're in Sinnoh, but I can't spoil why or anything because it's such a good series, and if you ever consider it,
Go check it out.
Yeah, the episodes aren't super long like an actual TV show. I don't think any of them are past 10. Well, maybe a little past 10 minutes, but the first ones are especially short, not 2 minutes short.
Yeah. Stuff like that's always nice to binge watch and just kind of get into it. No shiny here either.
Yeah, people come up with some great stuff, and it was good for me because I liked it because some I never liked, and this is just me, but I don't like when people take super wholesome series and just turn them into dark and gritty and edgy or whatever. They didn't do that with this. There was some dark humor, but it wasn't bloodshed, graphic,
Yeah.
boobs, and everything.
Yeah.
It was like just some dark humor, occasionally some violence, a little bit of swearing. I'm like, you know what? This is like a PG-13 Pokemon, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm okay with stuff like that as well. I do. I
Yeah.
already checked out this. I don't know what I'm doing back here. Maybe I didn't check out this spot. No shinies. But yeah, some of those like smaller like type of videos, especially like for those like God, what is the name of the series? I'm drawing a blank. It's done by Dorkly now.
Was it that Pokemon Rusty?
The Pokemon Rusty is one that I really liked. I thought it was really funny. I'm showing my child's humor here, but I really enjoyed that one. Here's Paris. I don't know if you had an issue with this, but were Paris like over aggressive in your game?
I don't think they were too bad, but I can't sort through. I know that there's memes of it.
But yeah, there's definitely memes. Definitely memes.
Like, I saw one that had a Kari saying, "I don't want to fight you, Paris." And Paris says, "I wouldn't want to fight me either."
You know what? It's a true story, because I hate fighting them. The first death I had in this game was to a Paris.
Oh gosh.
It was so stupid. So I ended up. This is back before I really kind of knew like all the ins and outs, and I ended up going to trying to do a little skip, and as a result, the skip ended up with me in water. The problem is I didn't have Basque Legion yet, so I was just drowned at that point.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening is a Paris was following me.
Oh no.
And the Paris was at the ledge where I rolled off of. And so when it had already like started to attack, like it already started its attack as soon as I like rolled out, or rolled off the edge, I should say.
Yeah.
And I spawned back in, and when you spawn back in from drowning, there's like a moment where you can't really do anything. You're kind of like stunned. And as a result, I couldn't move from the Paris' attack. I was just sitting there with poison. Killed me. And I was like, all right.
Nice.
This is a game, huh? And then I died to like space-time distortions, which is not that uncommon because space-time distortions can be kind of a pain.
Yes.
So, I guess. Did you end up enjoying like some of the way that they implemented like space-time distortions, or?
Yeah, it kind of was funny when I'm like, oh gosh, oh no, but at the same time, I like getting all those rare items and stuff, and you could catch some rare Pokemon to fill up the Pokedex, so that was cool too.
Yeah. It definitely was a nice thing. Like I said, at first the biggest complaint I had was just because no one really knew how they worked. So everybody was sitting there trying to figure out, oh, how come this isn't spawning?
Yeah.
But they now that they know how to work it, and I know how they actually work, it's not nearly as bad as what it used to be for sure. I do think there's still some improvements. If they add another DLC, what do you hope to see in it for this game?
Well, I don't normally ask for this because I'm normally all about gameplay, but I would love to see the story expand on, like I mentioned before, because there's so many unanswered questions. I'd also like, maybe they could add more Pokemon to catch, maybe some new areas. Not a whole lot, because, that'd be asking too much, but maybe some new areas, like, I don't know, where New Moon Island was, or I think that's what it was called, or...
Yeah, New Moon and Full Moon are the two
Yeah,
ones.
those two, like... I know we already have Cresselia and Darkrai, but I'm sure they could add other stuff there, just... Because I feel like there's some parts of Sinnoh they didn't make.
They definitely didn't make. If you look, there isn't a... You don't go to Iron Islands once.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, you could go there, and obviously the landmass hasn't happened with where the... your battle zone and stuff is, because it's just this one volcano.
Right.
So you don't really have that massive land mass that you see. So it'd be interesting, at least to me, to see, kind of.
More areas.
Yeah, and there is some like data mines for this game, where they have found
the modern room.
The modern room, and there's also an unused like area entirely.
Oh wow.
So that would be very, very cool to see. See it have some kind of like use. But
yes.
There's that. There's the. I would like to see some other things. Like I would like to see kind of what they would end up doing with Ingo. 'Cause it's very interesting that they brought Ingo here and specifically say, hey, yeah, I'm also from the future. And then they kind of just never like touch on that again.
Also, it makes you wonder why they chose him. Like, he's not from Sinnoh, he's from Unova. Why did they choose someone all the way from Unova? It makes you wonder.
It does make you wonder. It absolutely does. And
I don't know if you've seen it yet, but the official art of Ingo from Legend Arceus, it looks so cool. Like, he looks so badass in it.
Oh, yeah, he, all the character art that they've done from the, like, Pokemon Legends Arceus website, and that would, all of them, they did, like, a really, really good job.
Yeah.
Hey, FaZe. So, I do hope they kind of, like, keep up the, like, artwork. I guess I should also ask, what do you think? I will start with the starters. What do you think of the starters? The new starter.
Starters? I love of Gen 9, you mean?
Well, I mean of this game, Hisui and Typhlosion.
Oh, this game. Well, I like all three of them, honestly, and their evolution lines, but my favorite was Oshawott. I chose Oshawott because it's my favorite Unova starter, and I like Rowlet. It's very cute, but I don't have any real emotional attachment to it because I've never used one or a Decidueye, but I do like regular Decidueye, and Hisui and Decidueye is cool. I respect Tyndaquil and its evolutions. I kind of prefer regular type, or Johto Typhlosion over Hisui and Typhlosion, but I really do like,
I guess is what you could call it.
Yeah, I guess you could just, but I don't know, I guess you would just call Typhlosion instead of Johto Typhlosion. But I do like them all. I think they did a good job design, but Hisui and Samurott is the only Hisuian form of the starters that I prefer over the original. Other than that, I prefer regular Decidueye and regular Typhlosion over the Hisuian forms.
I would also agree on that, because the Typhlosion. So here, I ended up going Cyndaquil. I like Typhlosion. It was the Johto starter I picked, and
right.
Johto. And at first, I was like, oh, because I went through the game pretty much spoiler free.
Yeah.
I didn't, like, get a whole lot of spoilers. Eventually, I did get like the spoilers spoiled for me, and like Dialga and Palkia like original forms. But
right.
When I first saw Typhlosion, I was like, what did they do to my boy? He looks like, he just got back from a 420 Blazed concert. When you see him in game, he definitely like looks better.
Yeah.
Alright, well, whatever. I guess I'm not seeing now Typhlosion. He definitely looks better, and the same thing also goes for Decidueye.
Yeah.
And Sun and Moon, I went with Rally. I normally do go grass starters.
Yeah.
But the initial impressions on all of them were bad, except Samurott. Samurott was the one exception. I was like, I definitely like this.
Yeah.
Growl, yeah, I agree. I am glad Typhlosion's flames are out, when he's actually battling. But when you first see this in like a low quality screenshot, you're like, oh, what did they do? So
that's how I felt when I first saw Inteleon. Like, it's grown on me mainly because one, it's a secret agent, which is cool. Two, it snipes things, which amuses me because it's in a family-friendly game.
yeah.
But when I first saw Inteleon's 3 miles, what they do to Sobble. Then you see it in action and stuff, and then you learn more about it. It's like, you're not so bad.
You do warm up. What did you think of the rest of the Hisuian forms? Like Cleavor or Ursaluna?
Cleavor was pretty cool. I really like the Hisuian Zoro and Zoroark ones. Those are really cool. Let's see. I got Lilligant is cool, but I prefer the original. I like the original like shape and stuff, but I prefer the colors on Hisuian Lilligant because it's got a pink flower, and I'm a sucker for the color pink.
Yep.
And let's see, what else was there? Oh yeah, Hisui. I love Hisuian Growlithe. It is so cute. Hisuian Arcanine is cool, but I wish it kept some of the fluff instead of changing to just a lot of rock. I mean, it makes sense because it's also rock type, but I miss the fluff.
Yeah.
It was so cute.
I actually, so for forms, new forms, I guess I should say, or Hisuian forms.
Yeah.
I really liked Hisuian Voltorb.
Yeah.
It was probably my favorite of the new Hisuian forms. And just because it looks so goofy. And then you get Electrode and you're like, alright, well, you're not nearly as cool. There was,
No.
I was talking to Not, who's in the chat at one point in time, and I was like, alright, he's got a hole on the top of his head. There's no way they don't pull like an Alolan Executor, right, and put like a tree on there. And they didn't.
That would have been cool.
It would have been so much better instead of him just being essentially Electrode, which if you look at all the forms, they do look very similar to what they are, minus like some of the evolutions. I think Zoroark's probably the most unique in that aspect because it's actually still Zoroark, but it doesn't really look anything like normal Zoroark.
Right, it's very different.
So.
But yeah, I can't stand Hisuian Electrode because one, I can't stand the design, and two, it was a bitch to fight.
It is a pain in the ass. I got lucky and I didn't die with Electrode on my stream playthrough. When I was going through on my personal one though, I got absolutely destroyed. Do you play in handheld mode or do you play on tablet?
Handheld. I really like handheld way of playing. I don't know why. I just prefer it.
Hey Brandon. Good thing you did. And ooh, Quilava. Maybe I can get a shiny one. One thing I will say is the fight that's worse than Electrode if you play on non-handheld mode, TV mode, dock, is Avalon. And it's because the fight is just super laggy. So, dodging's a very important part of this game.
Right.
And when you can't dodge, it gets very difficult.
It's the power of the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, it's the power of the potato. That is that.
I heard that from a Twitch streamer. He was playing Legends Arceus and he saw some terrible FPS on some of the background Pokemon, and he said, "Oh, that's the power of the Nintendo Switch."
Yeah, I mean that would absolutely do it. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and fly down here. But when they revealed the Switch OLED, I was like, man, I really want them to come, because this was time, like, it was rumor season. People were like, there's going to be a Switch Pro, it's going to be 4K, which I already didn't believe because Nintendo has never really been I'm going to put all my eggs in the graphics basket. But I was like, I could see a Switch Pro. We're getting to that point where the Switch has been out for a long time. And instead, we got just the OLED. And the OLED is, I mean, if you need a Switch, you would prefer that, but like,
it's not a big enough difference.
It really isn't big enough. Ooh, and a Turtwig. But yeah, it's definitely not a big enough difference to actually, to make me want to buy it. When they were talking about like Switch OLED or like the Pro, I was like, all right, here we go again. It's that time where people are going to be buying Switches, like like they're running out of style. Luckily, obviously it was the OLED, so I really didn't care. I don't know, did you? Because I've got a first generation Switch. How long have you had your Switch?
I've gone through a few different ones. The first one I got all messed up because I used some not really cheat. Well, yeah, I guess you could call them cheat codes, something like that. In Bayonetta 2, it messed up the Bayonetta 2 game and I couldn't play it on my Switch. It just wouldn't let me play it. So my mom got me a new one. That one was fine, but she got me the other one that has the better battery life. And we gave the other one, the lesser battery life that actually works. We gave that to a granddaughter of a friend of my parents because she really liked Pokemon, but she didn't have a Switch or any other game console, so we gave that one to her. But let's see, how long have I had the current one? Probably been 2-3 years, maybe.
So do you know if the first one you got wasn't like the big Switch craze, like when it was first announced, it was like almost impossible to buy?
It was in 2017.
Oh, I got a shiny Badoo. I need to remember that. It's right
But
down
it
there.
was in 2017 when I got it. I had to wait till Christmas because my dad, he just thinks that I gotta wait till Christmas, even though I know what I'm getting because I'm with my mom all the time. And
yeah, it's hard to hide presents.
Actually, thankfully my dad doesn't watch these, but I'm gonna say it quiet because he's in the other room. Normally when there's a game that comes out close to Christmas, mom just lets me play ahead of time, and she pretends, and she gives me the case on Christmas Day, being like, "Oh, you got this for Christmas. You never played it before."
Oh yeah, that is sneaky, very very sneaky. So.
But to be fair, I know I'm getting it. It's not going to be a surprise. And he doesn't even always pay attention to when I'm getting my presents. He does love me. Let me make that clear. He does love me. But, I just don't understand his logic sometimes.
That's a parent for you.
Yeah.
So.
My mom seems to be the more logical one, in my opinion, but... Again, there's nothing wrong with him. He's a good person. For one thing, my biological father doesn't actually love me or my mom, but my stepdad, the dad I was talking about, he does love me and my mom. So, but that's a whole other can of worms. We don't need to talk about my trashy biological father.
Yeah, so sometimes that is unfortunate when that happens. Shifting gears too, just because we got like a little over 30 minutes left. Are you excited for? I meant to check out the unknown. Are you excited for?
Gen 9?
Yes, I don't know why I have such a hard time remembering Scarlet and Violet, but it's like near impossible for me to remember.
Yeah. I want to see more information because I feel like we don't have enough for me to get super hyped. I'm looking forward to it because they said it's open world, and so far I really like the starter designs, which I'm going with Sprigatito because it's cute, fluffy, it's a cat. It reminds me of Fennekin, and it looks like it's going to evolve into something feminine. I normally like the feminine Pokemon, even when the gender ratio makes no dang sense.
So,
like the starter Pokemon.
I'm also Team Sprigatito.
Nice.
So
it's so cute. Fluffy.
It is.
I do also really like Fuecoco though, and Quaxly's really cute.
Yeah, Fuecoco's warming up to me. Obviously, it's going to depend on like their final designs. That will be the ultimate deciding factor. Also, hello Eric, welcome. But they're all warming up to me for sure.
Yeah.
So also, I got to remember where the shiny Badoo was.
How do you feel about Sprigatito staying on all fours? I honestly don't care as long as the design is good, but I know a lot of people don't feel the same.
I would prefer him to stay on all fours, or prefer it to stay on fours. But if they do a good design with 2 legs, I'm fine with it. I just don't want to be another... I don't want it to be another, like, really, really weird, like, humanoid thing. To where... And it's not as much of, like... I guess humanoid's not, like, the right term for it. I just don't want to... I feel like it has a really high potential of being something that's, like, really, really good.
Couldn't get that kind of art.
Yeah. And there's a history with specifically grass starters. Oh, come on. History with grass starters being like extinct animals.
Oh, yeah?
So,
like a Sabertooth would be cool.
Yep.
Is that what you were going to say?
Yep, that is absolutely what I was going to say. I'm also kidding. But yeah, a Sabertooth I feel like would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
To go through.
I don't know why, but I hope it's part fairy type just because I love fairy types. I don't know why, but if it's gonna be Sabretooth, it probably won't. I don't know what type it would also be, but I don't want it to stay pure grass.
I wouldn't either. I had a theory originally, and I'll talk about this on one of my streams a while back, of like what the starter toppings I think would be. And originally
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe there would be all like, monotypes.
Yeah.
But now then, I don't think that's going to be the case. I do think we're going to get like a fire, or not a fire, a poison, steel,
Yeah.
steel fairy, steel fairy, and like a dragon maybe, or some variation of that. I think it's Tom. But we'll end up seeing. It could be also like some kind of like other trio, because a lot of times they like to do the secondary toppings complementary to another one of the toppings.
I'm pretty sure that pure grass Pokemon are normally not very good because so many weaknesses. Let's see: flying, ice, bug, fire. What am I forgetting? Poison.
Poison's another one, yeah.
That's like 5 weaknesses, as opposed to, like, one of the reasons I love the Chikorita line, but I know it's garbage in a battle. Well, not necessarily, more in the competitive scene. Oh crap! It's from what I know, it's terrible. But
It
in a regular
definitely
game, yeah.
But I do like Chikorita a lot. It's one of those ones that's like warmed up to me. I still much prefer the Cyndaquil line.
Right, I understand. A lot of people do. Chicory is one of the least popular starts. It's like, but that's my baby. I started with one in Dark Gold Soul Silver.
Yeah, I could, I can honestly easily see. Also, a good example of the Quilava and stuff, I'm glad that they do have fire again. It makes me happy that that's the case.
Yeah, it just doesn't look the same without the fire. Like, but Gen 6 is not the first time Quilava, the Cyndaquil line has been without fire. The first time was in Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah, I could see it, which I've actually, I've talked about this before on like a lot of my other videos. I've actually never even played a Mystery Dungeon game.
Ooh.
I've heard good stuff.
So, the gameplay's not for everyone. I personally enjoy it, but a lot of people don't. But the story is always good. Like, I wish the people that write the Mystery Dungeon games would write main series Pokemon games, because especially my favorite one, Explorers of Sky, the story in that game is so good. And also, there was a lot of content in it. There was a lot you could do even post-game. Like, once the main game stopped, there was still so much to do, and that's something else I liked about Explorers of Sky.
Yeah, that's one thing Pokemon's been lacking on for sure for a while, is like post-game. This has definitely been the best post-game of a Pokemon game in ages.
Yeah. I remember I was hoping Galar would have, or Sword and Shield would have Kalos in the post-game, because, UK, France. Now I'm hoping they'll do that with the new region, because Spain and Portugal, that's near France, isn't it?
It's right next to it. As a matter of fact, if you look at the Iberian Peninsula, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that for anyone, you can actually see the mountain ranks that separate France and Spain or Portugal.
They need to have... I feel bad for... I know it sounds weird, but I feel bad for X and Y, because they never got their enhanced version. They never got the improvements they needed. You know what I mean?
They didn't. And it is sad that that's the case. But
yeah, because I actually like the Kalos version. There's some really pretty parts of it. They introduced trainer customization, 3D, Mega Evolution, Fairy type. There was a lot of cool stuff introduced, but they never got, like, to become the best they could be.
No, they didn't.
Because there was no siege.
And that is a shame for sure, because I do like X and Y. I do think it's got a lot of problems. I think it's got a way too many rivals problem.
Oh gosh, and I like Shauna. She's okay, but the others, they're so forgettable to me.
Tiorno and I can't remember the other one's name.
Trevor. I only know this because I'm replaying. But Trevor and Calum is kind of okay, but Trevor and Tiona are just my least favorite of them all. Like, my least favorite thing in the game in general is how often you are interrupted by them.
And you get interrupted by them so much.
Yeah.
Especially in that game.
Yes. I think constantly getting interrupted start in Gen 5, but it wasn't as bad in Gen 5. Because I noticed in some of the older games, like, you're rarely getting stalked by someone. And even when you do, it's like just for not even a minute, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, if it's for story progression, that's fine. Take your time. But if you're just like,
every
hey,
route.
yeah, and like, hey, the gym's 10 feet away. Did you know that?
Hey, do you know about Pokemon Centers? Hey, I'm
Yeah.
on the third town. Do you still know about Pokemon Centers? Please leave me alone. Please.
Yes.
So,
If I could figure out when I was a kid, I could figure it out now.
yeah, for real. They definitely could use an upgrade, and I do hope that we do get something for X and Y, or to go back to the Kalos region, because I feel like there's a lot of like untapped potentials for sure on those games.
I really like Lumio City. Like, it was a pain to navigate, but there was so much you could do.
I had so many issues navigating that like city, especially at the beginning, when I was like, what? Especially being like 3D. Same thing for Unova's. I can't remember the big city.
Castelia City.
Yes, I had issues navigating it as well.
Oh, I'd love to see that in a fully 3D setting, which hopefully that'll happen when we get the remakes. I mean, I hope they don't go faithful remake again, because Black and White are probably better than the original Diamond and Pearl, though, now that I think about it.
Story-wise, it definitely is. Although the normal Pokemon community would absolutely like hang you over a spot, or at least they would in the past. I think Black and White now is much more acceptable
it is,
than what it was originally.
Oh yeah, people love it now. People are saying Gen 5 is the best. What do you mean? It's the most underrated. Which, yeah, I agree. It's really good. It's not my favorite. It's my second favorite. My first favorite is Gen 3. Part of it's nostalgia. Other part is I don't know. I just really like it. It's fun to me.
Hey, as long as you enjoy it, that's what matters for sure.
Yeah.
If I'd have to go with the nostalgia, it would definitely be like, just Red and Blue, because that is the first Pokemon game I ever played.
Right.
So naturally, there's always that sense of that. Are they good games though? No. I say recently, it's been a while now. I did a randomizer of the game, and boy, is that game just full of bugs.
Yeah, and it's unbalanced. Like, the psychic type is so broken.
Oh, it definitely is. And half of the stuff doesn't work.
I never played Gen 1. I only played the remakes, but after hearing about all the problems of the game, I'm like, why would I go to that when I could play Fire and Leaf Green, which is way better, clearly.
So you can enjoy the pain and suffering of random crits. That shouldn't be crits.
I think it wasn't until we got to the Gen 3 remakes, the remakes started to feel not as good as the enhanced versions. Like, I like Oras a lot, but I think Emerald's slightly better. Now, Platinum is a lot better than BDSP, though, but I still think BDSP is better than the original Diamond and Pearl, just not better than Platinum.
Yeah. I do wish they had done more with BDSP.
Yes.
I enjoyed my time playing it. Don't get me wrong. But,
there's so much they could have added.
Yeah, it is literally... If someone was like, hey, I have the choice of playing Diamond and Pearl or this, I would be like, you probably should just go ahead and play Diamond and Pearl and save your money. Unless you just really want like some of the newer features and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, and, like I said, I still enjoyed it.
Right. That's because the original Diamond and Pearl was fun, and this has...
I got a Shiny Unknown.
Small improvements.
There was a Shiny Unknown just then. What do you know?
It's hard to take Cyrus seriously in BDSP.
With his chibi face? Yeah, I agree.
Yes. I don't have a problem with chibi style until you get to serious moments.
Yeah. It is definitely odd that that is a thing for him.
Yeah.
So.
I'm hoping the Gen 5 remakes will be really... I don't know how they'll handle that, because there wasn't an enhanced version. They were straight up sequels. How are they going to handle Black and White and Black 2 and White 2? You can't skip one of those.
I'm going to assume they're probably just going to do Black and White. But who knows?
Yeah, I don't know what they're planning for that. And I guarantee you they're already planning it with how fast they pump out games. Like, they're probably already
they're definitely working on. Well, I don't know if it'll be them or if Ilka will be working on it. Ilka, I'm assuming, is still trying. BDSP is still not finished. You still can't do the Global Wonder charades or anything like that.
Yeah.
And Game Freak does have like 2 separate teams, so a lot of times when one team's working on one game, the other one will be working on another game. Case in point is like the team that worked on Let's Go isn't the same one that worked on Sword and Shield. But I do wonder if they will end up going, the route of it being more of a. They'll outsource it again, which I don't think Ilka did bad. I'm sure they had a lot of pressure, especially coming from Daddy Nintendo, who like doesn't let anyone touch Pokemon.
Yeah. And the Pokemon Company. Actually, the Pokemon Company has more power over the Pokemon games than Nintendo does, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, they absolutely do. I just say Nintendo don't have it, but I'm sure they were under a lot of like stress, and you could tell that game. I do feel like this game was probably supposed to come out before BDSP, and this was the original, like the true remake that we were doing. And I think they quickly realized that, hey, this is not going to be a thing that's going to be able to happen relatively soon.
Yeah.
So.
What are your favorite of the remakes so far? Which one's your favorite? Mine's Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Heart Gold, Soul Silver is easily my favorite. I really liked the. I like Golden. Hello, Throttle. I liked Gold and Silver plenty, and I've played them so many, like just an endless amount of like hours. But when they did the remakes, I enjoyed the Pokewalker aspect of it. The graphics were obviously
one. There was a Battle Frontier. There was following Pokemon. There was a customizable Safari zones. So much.
There was a lot in that game.
And that's part of why a lot of people like it so much, because they added so much, and that's why BDSP is one of the least favorites now, because they didn't add very much.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people also, when Sword and Shield came out, people really hated on those games. And, there's merit on some reasons of why people hate on it, for sure. But there's also some where it's not warranted. And a lot of people are saying, hey, when Gen 4 comes out, just come out with the original and call it. And I think when they did that, I think people that did say that realized, oh, you know what? Hey, maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Maybe we do want a game that's not the copy and paste version of the older games.
Pokemon fandom sucks.
I got a shiny Grottle.
Oh.
That's Pog.
I see it. Poggers.
That's what, like 3 shinies in this one area? Something like that? Very big. Oh, you broke out. At least you're like super aggressive, so I don't worry about you running away.
My biggest problem with Heart Gold and Soul Silver is the level curve that was present in the original Gen 2 games.
It's kind of all over the place.
Yes. And I would love to challenge Red in the post game, but I'm not training my level 60 Pokemon to level 80.
Yeah, that was the thing. That was
the grind.
That was a thing in the original ones as well. It's like the weird level scaling that they did. I just died. That's fine. I can just fly to Grottle. The level scaling's very, very odd for sure on it.
Yeah.
So, but I do hope when we go to Gen 5, I do hope they add things. I would much rather them add stuff, even if it's not accepted at the time from the community. I think it would be better for the long run. Because like when I think of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, I'm like, all right, I remember playing this game, and I remember having a lot of fun going through, doing the legendaries and stuff like that. As opposed to BDSP, I did enjoy like the the like distortions room that you went to and all that other stuff. But it wasn't like a thing that I'm like gonna do, because I still haven't even caught all the legendaries in BDSP. I was like, all right, well I'm kind of done with this. It's had its course, and now I'm going to not, I'm going to focus on other things for sure. And you know what? That's fine. I just hope in the future they, maybe do something else.
I'm sick of just the battle tower. Like I don't play. Like I said, I don't play competitive, so the battle frontiers isn't easy for me. But it's so much better than just a battle tower. You know, the battle frontier, there's variety.
There is a lot of variety in the battle tower.
Yeah, or battle frontier.
Oh yes, that.
But the battle tower is just the same thing, same facility. Like,
yeah.
Give me some variety.
I don't know if you know this, but the battle tower specifically and BDSP, BDSP when it launched, there was like tons of bugs. Everything you did was like a bug.
Yes.
And it there was a move. A guy that I record with, his name is Dev. He actually ran into one of these bugs, and when you lose in the battle tower, that's kind of it. Like you pretty much just have to kind of start over. And I'm getting bopped by these throttles, but what it was is if you used, I think it's Ingrain was the actual move. If you used it, it would soft lock the game. So there was a Pokemon in the battle tower that actually had it. It's a Sunflora, like a really big threat. So I could just imagine like running into one of these things of, hey, here's a thing of, I'm like on for like 100 or whatever, and oh wait, there's a Sunflora coming to eat my face, essentially, and there's nothing I can do about it because it's going to use Ingrain.
Oh dear. This is a little off topic, but those grottos moving so fast, it reminds me of a video I once saw of a turtle on a treadmill. It started off slow, but then it started running, and in the background there's a song go, "Deja vu, I just been in this place before," when it starts running.
I would want to see a turtle on a treadmill. That sounds hilarious.
Yeah, just look up Deja Vu turtle and you should find it.
Of course. Of course.
That's the name of the video, I think.
It wouldn't surprise me, at all, for it. That is definitely a name of a
YouTube video.
Yeah, absolutely. So
it's one of those videos you get in your recommends. Like, I don't know why this isn't my recommended, but I'm not complaining.
I will watch it. I will consume all the things, which I mean that's YouTube's good about doing that, especially for like smaller things. There. So, there's a.
You know what I can't stand in my recommend though is some of the ads, like not the ads you watch, the ads that are just images.
Oh,
like YouTube has a double standard. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't have ads because I shill for premium because I hate ads with a passion. There's definitely ways around it that I won't discuss, but if you Google it, you can definitely find ways to not have ads on YouTube. More power
all
to
I'm gonna say is, YouTube, if I showed the type of images I've seen those ads on my channel, I'd get in trouble. But YouTube can show them just fine. That's all I'm gonna say.
That doesn't surprise me in the least.
No.
In the least for it.
And like there was one, I don't want to tell you what it was. Just know it was inappropriate, and it's like, why am I seeing this? I didn't need to see that.
Hey, do you want to see it again though? Because it'll fill your feed with full of it. YouTube's really great about doing that. So.
Now, as someone who likes to watch anime, and you know how some of the women that are, there are some things that's just like, it's not a big deal. But there was one that just no.
Just a hard no.
The hard no.
Yeah.
But as someone who watches anime, I've seen plenty of those voluptuous women in skimpy outfits. A lot of it doesn't really faze me, but there was one that did faze me.
Sometimes that happens.
Yes. It's like, YouTube, why am I saying this?
It needs to show you all of its stuff, which YouTube's just a weird thing. In general, it is an amalgamation of things. I'm actually doing like some YouTube courses and stuff like that to try to better my channel. And boy, some of the things that you learn, you're like, what? All right, I guess this is a thing now. I should.
And the people that work at YouTube, not the YouTubers, but the people that make the business decisions, like they make some of the worst decisions, like removing the dislike button, COPPA, that stuff.
Oh boy, I could tell you all day about Kappa. Because it was the thing is like, am I gonna have to like actually like worry about these
Yeah.
things, or which it seems like at least for Kappa, I don't have to worry about it and stuff. I make sure people know that my stuff, hey, it's not for children for sure.
Yeah.
Put up the berries. Why can't you just use the berries that are here in my storage? It's also one of the things about the Daybreak DLC is the berries that you get is a new type of berry. So you run into an issue of you don't have a whole lot of them. Not nearly as much as you would think you would.
Ah.
So,
I was gonna say something, but I can't remember what it was.
I got you distracted.
I do that so often. Or I'll like, and someone has to even distract me. Like I'm about to go get out of my room, tell my parents something. I'm like, what was I gonna tell them?
The brain is a oh, I didn't really climb. Come on, Brady.
It doesn't help that I have ADHD, so that makes it worse.
That would do it. That would absolutely.
Oh
do
yeah.
It. Nothing there. But are you going with I guess I should say, are you going with Scarlet or Violet when it comes out?
It really depends on which Pokemon are available in it, because, you know, that's the biggest thing for me. Right now, I'm thinking Violet's just because purple is my second favorite color, and that's really my only logic. But once I see more info on, like, seeing what the difference is, I'll go with that.
Most people I've talked to so far have said Violet for it, and my logic is about as sound as yours. The font looks better for it. Because if you look, Scarlet and Violet do have two very different fonts.
Yes.
So, that's the extent of that.
Yeah.
Now,
but that's because we hardly have any information on. Once we get more information, let's be like, okay, I'm gonna get this one. Like you're gonna know.
Do you want them to do kind of like what they do with Legends Arceus and not reveal as much information? You know, with like Sword and Shield. Well, not as much Sword and Shield. Sun and Moon, especially Ultra Sun and Moon. They pretty much like revealed every bit of that game. Day one.
I want them to keep some secrets, but I would like to at least know what the starters end up looking like and which Pokemon are going to be in which game.
Yeah, that was one thing. They held off the starters on this game for a very, very long time.
I knew about it because of leaks. And I'm like, you know what? The heck with it. Let me see the leaks. I only really mind spoilers when it's for the story, to be honest.
Yeah, I normally try to stay away from them. If I do see a Pokemon, it's not the end of the world unless it's like a story spoiler. Like when I got the spoiled for like Primal Form, Dialga, and Palkia, I was like, that's kind of lame that I got spoiled for it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's not like the end of the world for it because it is just a form, and you kind of expect that that's going to be the case.
Right.
But it's still it still would be better. Like that's one reason why I really like the Volvo bot is it captures a part of the game of it's like this character that you think is this one way, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait, what? This has been the case the entire time?
I like how Cyrus's ancestor is good and Cynthia's ancestor is evil. Well, I don't know if Kagita is one of her ancestors. They look similar, so it makes you wonder.
So, there's a real big crackpot theory here about Kagita, or however you say her name. Of her not being Cynthia's ancestor, about her being actually Cynthia. And there is some logic behind it. She, when you start the post-game, she talks about, like, one of the old poems, like, gives a quote for it. And, you know, to find the old poems, you have to, first of all, they've been, buried for centuries at this point. It's not like, they're readily available, presumably. Your character alone has to use Arceluna, dig for them. So you would think that they would be somewhat, old to kind of find. And when she makes a direct quote to it, you're like, And some of the terminology, I touched on it on my last like Legend Arceus stream, that she says stuff. It's like, the way you're phrasing this, you're like, you're not really an ancestor. It's like, you know what's happening. It's a little sketch, if you will. Oh yeah, I was surprised by Giratina going in Legend form. It caught me off guard. Because I was like...
I love watching people react to that on YouTube. Like, they think it's over. They think it's finally over. Then, boom.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it was for me. Because the first fight, I wasn't, like, killed up to begin with. And then I was like, oh, alright, well, that's cool. I beat Bolo. Oh, wait, he's got Giratina. Well, I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. Oh, I have to do this fight again, huh?
In a way, you're facing off with 8 Pokemon, because along with the 6 on his team, you gotta fight Giratina, that's 7. But Giratina has a second phase, and he gets fully short, so it's like you're fighting 8 Pokemon in a row, no health in between.
Yeah, and you know, his team is not a joke.
Yeah.
It's a very strong team.
Yes.
Almost Cynthia's.
Yeah. The only Pokemon he doesn't have that Cynthia has is a Milotic, but Milotic's not in this game.
Yeah. Which, you know, it is what it is for it, but I still really, I don't even know where, I found the Pokemon apparently. Oh, there they are. I have no idea where they were. But, like, her, just seeing, like, you know, who Cynthia is, and you're like, oh, well, Cynthia's clearly the good guy, you know, her ancestors gotta be
right.
The good people, you know, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
And when you learn that, hey, it's actually not that case, you know, Cynthia's ancestors, like, you know, hey, I actually want to, you know, kind of destroy God in a way. I want to meet him, and I want to be, you know, this really, really interesting character development that you don't see coming, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
So it definitely catches you by surprise for sure.
Yeah.
And it was a nice twist to actually see.
Yeah.
As opposed to the normal, you know, evil team, here you go, blah, blah, blah. Which,
yes.
Because we are kind of running low on time, what's your opinion of I'm going to consider them the evil team, the bandits, the bandit trio?
I'm pretty indifferent to them, honestly.
I feel like they definitely were kind of shoehorned in.
Yes.
Pretty obvious for that.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it is what it is for them being shoehorned in.
Yeah.
They are an excellent source of money. I don't know if you've ran into them, but
I've ran into them a few times in the post game.
You know, when you do get the post game unlocked, you're on the lookout for them. Before the Daybreak update, especially in Alabaster Islands, because I was hunting Sneasel.
Yeah.
And I had a specific routine, and I normally would always find them there. And especially because you need so much money in this game because of a scam artist. The true villain of this game.
I've seen memes about them saying, this is what the true god of space looks like.
Yeah, and you know what? They're not wrong. He somehow still has techniques that your main character for some reason can't figure out. Even though you just spent, you know, $2 million on him.
Yeah.
So that is absolutely a thing. The big scam artist for sure.
Yes. It's like, I know I'm getting scammed, but I need that space.
Yeah, and you do need space, a lot of it in this game. I do feel like it kind of gets better later on.
Yeah.
Once you hit like where it's costing like 12 grand a slot.
Yeah.
You've noticed that it's not as bad. Also, I love the targeting system in this, where it targets the Pokemon behind the rock where I can't hit it. But yeah, that's whatever. Also, the full cast of characters, just to kind of go back, I think I really liked the way that they had it, except Metal, of course.
Yes.
Nobody really cares for them. But Wolfric and all them, well, not Wolfric, whatever his
Right,
sister's name is.
Gareth?
Yes, that's it. There's a Pokemon right there.
I didn't even realize till now that that's whose ancestry was Wolfric. I
Yes.
forgot about him.
That is who that is. And it catches a lot of people off guard. He is definitely dude bro of the game.
The dude, bro.
He definitely is. Just seeing him go like, hey, let me show you my dudeness by climbing the Avalug's legacy here. You're like, oh, okay. I guess that's what we're doing. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, overall, this game was fun. For Gen 9, I have a lot of high hopes. I think that this game is a game Pokemon needed to make, for sure.
Yes.
I think they definitely got the step in the right direction. There is some improvements, like I was saying. Graphics-wise, the game still looks like it came out on the Nintendo 64. But I will say, the Pokemon animations themselves look much better. The Pokemon models look much better. And when they did show the Gen 9 teaser, the new Pokemon models that you could see for a lot of things, those look a lot nicer as well.
Like Survivor with the scales.
Survivor with the scales. You know, Magnemite's actually got like a shiny kind of finish to it.
Yeah.
Which looked a lot nicer than, you know, it normally have. Which I can't remember the last time I've seen Survivor. And well, I guess we haven't seen it in any 3D game since probably X and Y. Well, I guess you see it in, you know, if you want to count Snap 2, there is that. But even then, actually, no, you do see it. I had to think, I was like, do you actually see Survivor in Snap 2? And you do.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not as impressive to see. It's more impressive to see, like, actually in the Pokemon environment where they're not, like,
right.
You know, what they have been doing, you know, which is just the notebook's just pieced out, so did that one. So.
Screw this crap, I'm out.
Yeah, right, pretty much that's what they said. They're like, nah, we ain't getting any part of that. So I'll go check this last one here. Let's see. I don't think I got any shinies this run, but that's fun. I got a fair bit.
Yeah.
So, do you normally do any like shiny hunting or anything like that in games? I know you've got a shiny Spheal.
I've actually only hunted for the shiny Spheal. Well, I did try hunting for Drifloon, but I haven't gone back to that yet. I did somehow end up finding a shiny Gibble and a shiny Weasel, but that wasn't my intention. Like, I saw there was a Gibble outbreak one time. I was like, sure, why not? I was like, oh, that's a shiny.
Yep,
and I was looking for Weasel to complete that one quest, you know, the 2-foot-8 Weasel. Like, oh, Weasel outbreak, I could get the 2-foot-8. And then I saw shiny. I'm like, hold on, let me get that.
Yep, that will do it. When I was doing my Legends Arceus like actual stream here, the very first episode, we were like probably well, I wouldn't say we were 1 minute. We were in the Obsidian Fieldlands, and I was just kind of walking around because I already knew at this point in time like a lot of stuff about the game was already beaten on my main series game. We were in where Shaman is. And sure enough, there was just a shiny Cascoon there. The next stream, there was a shiny Kricketot. So it was a very, very much so a treat.
Legends Arceus is the first game I've ever shiny hunted because of how much easier that you can make it by filling out the Pokedex.
It definitely is a very easy game to shiny hunt, and it's definitely very, very rewarding. I enjoy it a lot. So.
Yeah.
But we're pretty much at time, so I think this is a good spot to call it, Lauren. I really appreciate you joining me. For those that are new here, you know, feel free to subscribe. And like I said, again, those that are from my channel, make sure to go show Lauren some love and subscribe to her channel. You know, watch some of her videos. Go join her Discord server. She's got one of those as well. So, yeah, until then, I guess we'll catch you guys next time. Adios.